club is to provide mutually supportive and positive learning environment in which every individual has an opportunity to develop oral communication and leadership skills, which in turn foster self-confidence and club growth, personal growth. We do ask that you refrain from topics such as religion or politics during the meeting. And please welcome to the lectern, your virtual lectern, our presiding officer, DTM, Distinguished Toastmaster Grace.
Fellow Toastmaster and esteemed guests, as president of Athena International Toastmasters Club, I would like to welcome you all, especially our guests, and we have a lot of guests here tonight. So first, let's hear from them. Wherever you are coming from, I would like to hear where you're from and what brought you here tonight. So you can just raise your hand if you'd like to. Let's see anyone. Val, let's start with Val here.
Thank you so much. A pleasure again to be here. I'm currently in Atlanta. What got me here is since I've been blessed to be part of this club, I want to say almost 3 years. Started as a keynote speaker and just been in love with the club and the mission that you all are doing here and always bringing guests and speakers to spice it up a little bit and continue the growth that we are all here for. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Val. Val is not a Toastmaster yet. Hope she'll be able to join us later, but she's always supportive of our club. Thank you, Val. So we have another, yeah, okay, go ahead, Majeda. Is it Maheda? Maheda?
Yes. I'm Toastmaster Majda Tahboub from Jordan, president of CCAP Club. For this year, next year we'll have another shining president. Happy to be with you today.
Thank you. And we have Eliza. Is it Eliza or Eliza?
Yeah, very good evening, everyone. I'm Eliza. I'm from Singapore, and I'm from World Travelers Toastmaster Club, where all the 18 countries, it's in a one club. We are traveling around the world. So I'm happy to connect with all of you in Qatar. So looking forward for a great meeting.
Thank you so much. And we have our evaluator, guest evaluator. I believe she's from Aurora Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Amina. Oh, sorry, Vinita, sorry.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Glad to be here. Thank you, Vicky, for bringing me over to a new club. It's always great to see Toastmasters thriving and thrive with them. So I'm hoping for a great evening. Over to you.
Thank you. We have Toastmaster Aliyah. Are you there?
Yes. Good evening, everyone. I cannot open my camera in my
No problem.
pajamas.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be back to visit Athena. I love this club. I love the energy. And I want to thank DTM Vicky for inviting me today. I'm looking forward to hear from your keynote speaker, and enjoy the meeting, everyone. Back to you.
Thank you so much. We have here Mohammed Zubair. Are you there?
Yeah, good evening. I am Toastmaster Mohammed Zubair from Doha Toastmasters Club, Qatar. I got this invitation through one of our groups and looking forward to listen to the keynote speaker. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we have Chanel. Is that Chanel? Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yes, thank you, Chanel. Yes.
Yes.
I am from CCAP and I was invited by DTM Vicky. So I look forward to this meeting this evening and I am happy to be thank you. Back to you, madam.
Thank you so much. And we have Miral Darasi. Are you there?
Hi, everyone. I'm Miral Darasi from Jordan. I've been in the Gavo Club for 3 years, and I'm looking forward to join new clubs. And I feel like Toastmaster is going to be my happy place. I'm looking forward to the end of the meeting. And by the way, DTM Vicky is the one who invited me.
Thank you so much. DTM Vicky had invited a lot of guests tonight. Thank you, DTM Vicky, for that. And we have another guest, I believe. Sophia. I thought I saw Sophia. Sophia, are you there? She probably got.
Sophia is our creative director, and I think
Oh,
she was here, but it seems like it dropped off.
all right. Okay, no problem. And we have our guest, Arnie. Would you like to say something, Arnie?
Hello, good evening. Sorry, my camera is off because my signal
No
is not
problem.
really good today. Yes, nice to be here. I'm invited by Toastmaster Eliza.
All
Thank
right.
you.
It's good to see all our guests here tonight. We've got plenty of them, and we're gonna come back to you later on for the feedback after the after a meeting. So, is there anyone else? Nick, are you there?
Toastmaster Adam Abdi is
All
here
right.
with
Yeah,
us.
I can't see. Yeah, I can't see his name, whatever, for whatever reason. So, would you like to say something?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, good evening or good afternoon. I don't know what time it is. This is Toastmaster Adam. I'm a member of Doha Toast Club member. I was invited by my dear friend who's hiding himself now, Toastmaster Muhammad Zubair. And I have no idea where this club is. So I can see our dear Toastmaster Vicky Verher. So I'm happy guys to be here with you.
Thank you so much. So it is an absolute pleasure to be speaking to you all on our 50th meeting. So tonight is our 50th meeting. And being a Toastmaster, I understand the importance of effective communication and leadership. And it is clear that Toastmasters has been a driving force in helping individuals develop those skills. Now, as we celebrate this milestone, let us all rededicate ourselves to the mission of Toastmasters to help individuals develop their communication and leadership skills and to build strong, supportive communities, and have no doubt that with our collective effort and commitment, we can achieve great things together. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, it is my absolute pleasure to introduce you to a remarkable individual who embodies resilience, tenacity, and the unwavering spirit of greatness. Please join me in welcoming Giovanni, an immigrant from Colombia and the visionary founder and CEO of the consulting firm Mindful Performance Blueprint MPB, based in Atlanta, Georgia. Giovanni's impact reaches far and wide as he has transformed the cultures of esteemed organizations such as the United Nations, police departments, nonprofits, and companies housing over 20,000 employees. His expertise lies in creating high-performing organizational cultures, fostering environments that breed success, and empowering individuals to unleash their full potential. But his contributions don't stop there. Giovanni's passion for mentorship has guided dozens of entrepreneurs and business leaders on the journey to growth and success. He has an exceptional talent for unlocking the hidden talents within teams and providing them with the tools and strategies they need to thrive. Education has been a cornerstone for Giovanni's journey, as he holds both a bachelor's degree in international affairs and a master's degree in the science of management and leadership. His insatiable thirst for knowledge and dedication to personal growth have propelled him forward, enabling him to make a profound impact on the lives of those he serves. Giovanni's captivating story of personal transformation is beautifully chronicled in his book, La Mente di un Immigrante, in English, The Mind of an Immigrant. Through his book, he shares anecdotes, insights, and lessons learned, inspiring others to embrace their own greatness and persevere through life storms. Today, Giovanni will take us on a profound journey, unveiling the power of discovering one's greatness amidst the storm we encounter. So get ready to be captivated by his wisdom, authenticity, and contagious passion as he shares his transformative insight with us. Without further ado, Please join me in giving a thunderous applause to Giovanni, a true embodiment of resilience and a beacon of light as he reveals the path to unveiling our greatness through the storm.
Oh my gosh, Grace, that that was an unbelievable way to present oneself. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be seen that way. Thank you for creating me that way. And it is a truly honor for me to be with you, to be with the Toastmasters community of Qatar and around the world. Good evening. I'm honored. I'm truly honored to be here, Val. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for trusting me. And I'm also touched. I'm also moved right now by who you are, by this community. So thank you. Thank you so much for that introduction. I want to share with you a little bit of context. I want to create a little bit of context for the possibility of today's topic, unveiling one's greatness through the storm. And so I'm going to share a little bit of story of my life to create some context, and then I want to give you 3 critical reflections that I have found that makes a profound difference to all people who we touch, and we have been able to work around the globe with people who are committed to elevating their own leadership skills, but also who are committed to impacting the leadership skills of others. And so originally I'm from Colombia, so that's where the accent is from. And I lived in Colombia until I was about 13 years old, and mostly I was influenced by my grandmother. My parents were very young. My mother was 16, my father was 17. My mother continued to live with her parents. So my influence was mostly through my grandmother, my father's mother. And that was the first storm, if you will, of my life. At the time, I couldn't see it as the biggest blessing of my life. At the time, I saw it by not growing up with my parents as my first storm, if you will. My grandmother at the time was already legally blind. She couldn't see. But because I was growing up with her, she was the one who was helping me with reading, with math, and with the things about school. And I remember, I never forgot when I was out, but she couldn't see what I was seeing. And so I was maybe 6 years old, 5 years old, and I said to her, how come you're trying to teach me how to read even though you can't see? And she said something to me that I never forgot. She says, I don't need to see to have a vision for you. And that touched me. I was very young. I couldn't understand what she was saying, but I saw that she was seeing a possibility for myself. She could see something for me. And that was sort of the beginning for me in some degree, to start the journey of thinking outside the box, if you will. That was the beginning for me. I didn't grow up with my mother. I didn't grow up with my father. But when I was 13, I moved to Belize. Belize is a small country in Central America. And I went to live with my dad, and he had recently married, and he was in a new relationship with his wife. And some of you, I can imagine, you could imagine that a new relationship, bringing somebody, a 13-year-old to the relationship, and it was a lot of chaos. And maybe some of you grew up with some chaos, and their relationship was a real struggle for them. And in some degree, as they were battling the struggle of being in our relationship, they had an impact on me. And so to give you some context, at the house, everybody had a bed, but I had to sleep on the floor. And when they would leave the house, they would close all the doors and they would leave me without food. And every now and then when there were guests, they would wait to see if there was food left so that they can feed me. So that was another storm, if you will. And so I want you to think about the storms of your life and, the difficult moments of your life, right? And I'm going to create the context of storm. And I think that for everyone, life is difficult. I really believe that at any moment of life. And then later on, I moved to the US and I kind of put myself together and I go to school and I decide to go skydiving, throwing myself from a perfectly good flying plane. And I broke my left leg on the landing. And I couldn't walk for 8 months. And at the time I had already built some sort of foundation for my life. I had a house, cars, business. And as a result of the accident, I lost everything. Another storm, if you will. And throughout the reflecting on the different storms of my life and by being with the life of thousands of people at this point, intimately, in our courses, we really engage in intimate conversations. So I get a sense of people's storms. And there are 3 aspects that I like to share with you that allow you to unveil your greatness through any storm, right? So the first one is what we call, what are you holding on to? What could be the aspect that you could be holding on to that doesn't allow you to unveil your greatness? So this aspect really was created out of the story of how they hunt monkeys in the Amazon. So I heard a while ago, so I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard a while ago that one of the ways that they hunt monkeys in the Amazon is that they place a banana inside of a trap. And so the monkey sees the banana and goes and squeezes its hand right through a hole and closes its fist and then grabs the banana. And then when the hunter sees that, well, it starts walking towards the monkey, and the monkey sees the hunter and starts moving vigorously and violently, trying to get away. And all it has to do to get away is what? What would you say? Let go of the banana. But the monkey doesn't let go of the banana. The hunter comes, hits him in the head, and takes it, right? So I want you to take a look at the possibility, or consider the possibility, that maybe we're holding on to bananas while we're at the storm. Maybe we're holding on to things that continue to create suffering. I certainly saw that in my life, that I was holding on to something in the middle of the storm that will continue to create more suffering. So that's the first aspect. That is the first aspect. The second aspect is, what am I unwilling to be responsible for? And the way we approach this metaphor is that I want you to imagine that being the human being that you are a very powerful human being. And I want you to consider yourself like a dragon. You're a massive, strong dragon. And dragons have big tails, a very big tail. And powerful human beings, powerful dragons, they tend to have goals in life. So they want to go from A to B. And what tends to happen is that as a dragon starts walking towards their goal, there is this big tail that the dragon can't see, that is waving as it pivots in life to go through a goal. And as the dragon is walking, the tail is hitting everything. And what does that look like for a human being? The tail is hitting relationships, is dismissing people, is unwilling to take responsibility for something, but there is a good cause. The dragon is on its way to a goal that it wants to achieve. So in my life, I have noticed that whenever I'm going through a goal that I want to achieve, there's always this impact that I leave in people's lives. Relationships broken, houses broken. And so as I started looking at the impact of my actions and being willing to take responsibility for the impact of my actions, then I had the opportunity to unveil my greatness. I have found in my life that what unveils my greatness is not my ability to achieve goals, but my ability to be responsible for the impact of my actions. Because there is an art, there is a dance with another human being that is critical to create in order to heal a relationship. And I really have found in my life that when I master the courage to clean up, to heal a relationship, the strength of the leader grows within me. I get a sense of what people's world is. I get a sense of how I can de-escalate. I get a sense of how I can let go something, how I can let go a banana. Oh, by the way, one of the biggest bananas that I have come to discover in my life, and as people share in our programs, the biggest banana is being right. One of the things that we like to say at home, in my house, is you can either be right or you can have love, but you can't have both. You can be right or you can have love, but you can't have both. And whenever I'm working with organizations, we don't say you can be right or you can have love. But the thing that we say is you can be right or you can have a team, but you can't have both. There's this banana about this thing human beings hold on to about being right. Anyway, so that was one of the bananas I meant to share with you, one of the bananas. So then there's this tail. And in your ability and my ability to take a look at the impact of my actions as I go from one goal to the next, my leadership grows. And the final reflection is one we call the iceberg in your future. Kind of like the iceberg in front of the Titanic, right? One of the aspects of the Titanic, of the movie The Titanic, is that there was this ship that was created by the greatest minds, that was carrying around the most influential people and people with a lot of wealth, a lot of power. And yet, even though the ship was created with the best minds, carrying the best people, having the luxury of the Titanic, it had an iceberg in its way, in its future. And one of the things that I have found is that at any point of my life, anytime I'm holding on to something and I am unwilling to be responsible for the impact that my life is to others, there is an iceberg coming. And it doesn't matter how much wealth I've accumulated, it doesn't matter how much influence I have or how much wealth people accumulate or how much influence they have, absent of looking at what is the iceberg coming, where is the iceberg coming, the boat that our lives is will sink. And we see it all the time, right? If you are fond of businesses, and in America, not long ago, one of the biggest companies in the world, you probably heard of it, Blockbuster, it owned the market, it owned the distributions, and now it doesn't exist. Also, there's another very big company called WeWork, huge company, $47 billion company, struggling to stay in business. And not long ago, anyways, it's example after example at the business level or at the individual level. There is a example after example. And so what I'm inviting you to look at to kind of closing remarks is, regardless of the storm that maybe you have lived or maybe that you're dealing with, there is a possibility to look at what are the bananas I'm holding on to? What could I be letting go? What could I let go? One of them is being right. The other aspect is, what relationships could I be responsible for? As I look in my life, let me see what I can be responsible for, and let me take my leadership there. And the last one is, because no one really can tell you what to do, is to be willing to see what is the iceberg in front of my life, that if I can see, I can move my ship a few degrees. So that's a little bit of my story. That's a little bit about some of the reflections that have made a difference in my life and the life of the people we get to serve. Thank you so much, Grace. Thank you so much, Valerie.
Thank you so much, Giovanni, for sharing with us your personal story. And on behalf of Athena International Toastmasters Club, I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude for gracing us with your powerful presence and delivering a great keynote speech. Your keynote speech was absolutely inspiring. Your words resonated deeply with me. The insights and experiences you shared were invaluable, and they will stay with us as we navigate our own paths to success. I would like to say that your authenticity and passion were evidently throughout your speech, capturing our attention. Your story of resilience and the pursuit of greatness through life storms touched our hearts and reminded us, particularly me, and reminded us of the strength we possess within ourselves. We're sincerely grateful for your presence and the impact you made on our event. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and inspiring us. Once again, Giovanni, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you so much, Grace. Thank you for having me.
You can stay to choose, or you can choose to leave or like stay with us as long as you want. So hope you'll stay with us. Yeah.
Perfect.
To continue tonight, I have the honor of serving as your Toastmaster of the day for this special meeting with the theme Scaling the Summit, the Mountain Within. And we will embark on a journey of personal growth, overcoming challenges and reaching new heights. Scaling a mountain often says an extraordinary feat, but the true challenge lies in conquering the mountains within ourselves, isn't it? The theme, Scaling the Summit, the Mountain Within, reminds us that our greatest challenges often lie within our own minds and hearts. It symbolizes the courage to face our fears, overcome obstacles, and embrace personal growth. Just like scaling the mountain, it requires determination, perseverance, and the willingness to step out of your comfort zones. Let me share with you my story. In my quest to conquer the mountain within, I faced numerous challenges and struggled relentlessly. Even now, I'll say up to now. And each step, my arduous testing my patience and pushing me to my limits. But through those struggles, I gained valuable experience and discovered the true essence of the mountain. And as I climbed, obstacles threatened to hold me back. Doubts and fears clouded my path. But I refused to give up. Every setback became a lesson, teaching me resilience and reminding me of my inner strength. And I tell you this, the journey wasn't easy. It was tough, and it continues to this day with steep slopes and rocky terrain. Yet, the beauty of the mountain inspired me to keep going. It speaks whispered of endless possibilities and the promise of growth. And finally, at the summit, I understood that conquering the mountain within was not just about external challenges. It was about discovering my own potential, pushing past my limits, and embracing personal growth. And ascending from the summit, I carried with me a newfound knowledge and unwavering determination, because the mountain had transformed me, shaping me into a stronger individual, or perhaps an iron lady, ready to face any obstacle that lay ahead. And each time it comes, I shout silently within, saying, "Bring it on." Even my heart is bleeding. I still say, "Bring it on." I don't have a choice. I wish I do have. Or maybe I have, but I don't want an easy choice. I want to make it work. I want to do it. I want to get it done. And so I continue on my journey, grateful for the struggles that taught me invaluable lessons and propelled me towards greater heights, because the mountain within will forever remind me of the strength and resilience I possess. But before I continue with our theme, tonight's meeting will be divided into 3 segments: the prepared speech, the table topics, and the evaluation. So stay with us because there's a lot more things awaits for you. Before we proceed to our first segment, allow me to introduce the role players. Our timer, Shahila Khan, will ensure that we stay on track and respected and allocated time for each segment. Shahila, can you please explain your role?
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a timer, I will time the table topic, prepared speech, and evaluation. I will also alert each speaker of their time left using green, yellow, red, which denote specific timings remaining. Table topic speaker should limit their remarks to no more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise the green card. At 1 minute, 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I will raise the red card. At prepared speech, at 10 minutes, I will use the green card. At 11 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. And at 12 minutes, I will raise the red card. The individual evaluation should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. And at 3 minutes, I will raise the red card. I will give my timer's report when called upon the general evaluator. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shahila. Now for our next role player. Once an extremely shy kid, our grammarian, Queen Villanueva, has embarked on an incredible transformational journey through her involvement in IIEE, SQC, Toastmasters Club, and Athena Toastmasters Club. And she found solace and inspiration in Toastmasters, realizing that it offered a pathway to becoming a better version of herself. With unwavering determination, Queen stepped into the stage, eager to conquer her fears and evolve into a confident speaker. Toastmasters became her artistic canvas, where she skillfully crafted the art of representation, using her voice as a brush to paint vivid impressions of her true self. Queen, please introduce yourself.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers and carefully listen to their language usage, as well as any misuse of English language. Any outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts will be noted. As a grammarian, it is also my responsibility to introduce the word of the day. Our word of the day is sachet. A verb which means to strut or move about in a ostentatious or conspicuous manner. An example is the model sashayed down the runway. Another example, her friends had long whispered to her about Lute's sleek good looks and the way he sashayed about the island as he owned it. I encourage all speakers and fellow Toastmasters to use the word of the day. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Queen. And next to Sashay, our virtual stage, is our ad counter, Diana Abu Hamor, who is an incredible multitasker, a devoted mother to 2 teenagers, tirelessly pursuing her career goals. In rare moments of tranquility, she'll find her curled up in a cozy corner, book in hand, relishing a cup of coffee. While she cherishes her introverted nature, she treasures the close bonds she shares with a limited circle of friends. Having grown up in the scorching heat of the Middle East, she dreams of retiring in a lush, cool country someday. Inspired by amazing DTM achievers, she strives to reach the same heights of accomplishment. Toastmaster Diana.
Thank you, Grace, for the introduction. Good evening, everybody, Toastmaster fellows and our guests. The purpose of the encounter is to note any overused words or filler sounds used as a grudge by anyone or speaking in the meeting, during the meeting. Words may be appropriate or interjections, such as and, well, but, so, and you know. Sounds may be Mike is yours. More, Grace, thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Diana. And last but not least, our general evaluator, DTM Vicky Ferrer, who will provide overall feedback and guidance to enhance the quality of this meeting, but I will call her later. So now let us embark on the first segment of the evening, the prepared speeches. And we only have one speaker tonight. Toastmaster Adeline Richan will be delivering a podcast, an elective to a presentation mastery path level 4, and she will be evaluated by Toastmaster Vanita Minkalia. Toastmaster Vanita, can you please read out the purpose of her speech?
Good evening once again. The purpose of speech for Toastmaster Adeline is that she has to be introduced to the skills needed to organize and present a podcast, to introduce a podcast, and to present a segment of the podcast. Over to you. Good luck, Adeline.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vanita. Toastmasters Adeline have always loved to see the grass plains around her. Without any mountains, they were beautiful and easy to journey. But once she came across those mountains, the scenery changed into stunning and majestic beauty. Though her life is filled with challenging mountains, she will always stop to breathe in the view, and her motives her to move further towards her goal. This is how she viewed her journey to her destination. So let's give a warm virtual welcome to Toastmaster Adeline on her podcast title, Secret of Public Speaking. Toastmaster Adeline, the virtual stage is yours.
Raise your hand if you have a secret. Ooh, I see many of you have. Like that, all of us, all things around us have secrets. Even the curtain behind me has one. I don't know anything about it. Yet sometimes we stumble across those secrets. We discover those secrets. We find them. And sometimes those secrets are good. We can use them. And that's how I found the secret to public speaking. And it's not about, secret, let's say how to speak, how to communicate, how to use your language effectively. Nah, not those secrets. But the secrets that the public speaking makes you to do. It was something that I never realized about. Something that was life-changing to me. And when I experienced the secrets, when I realized inside of me that these were the effects of public speaking, I decided to make a podcast out of it. And this should be a lesson and an experience to all of us, knowing that life is not only about what we see. When we meet someone, there is always then more to looks to the eye. Just like that, every skill you learn, every experience that you have in your life, there is always a secret. And sometimes it takes years to discover the secrets. Sometimes it just takes a second to discover those secrets. But what we must do in those cases that we must learn about those secrets, enhance about it, and move forward in our lives. And with this, I would like to share the podcast that I've made, Secret of Public Speaking, as I share how I learned the secrets of public speaking and how I wanted to give to all of you. Now I should proceed with the podcast.
Good evening. Welcome to Tech Talks podcast, where we will discover new technologies and experiences of different fields in our lives. I'm your host, Rihanna, and today is a very exciting day. We are going to be discussing the secrets of public speaking. With us joining today, we have a competent public speaker, and she wants to share her experience of public speaking. So without ado, Adeline, please introduce yourself to us.
Good evening, Erlin. I'm Adeline and currently a fourth year student studying bachelor's. And with 3 years being in the art of public speaking, I'm really happy to share the secrets that I have learned in public speaking.
That's great. And thanks also for the short introduction. Now, there are some really important questions that you really need to answer. First of all, from when did you start your journey in public speaking?
Now, the journey of public speaking started 3 years ago when I thought speaking English is just enough to communicate with others. But realization came by when I understood that just speaking English does not mean you can inspire people, motivate people, or tell people what you really feel. I felt like pursuing the art of communication is what drives us to inspire, motivate, and share our experiences with others.
That's really true, because you really should know how to communicate with others, and not just knowing the language is going to help you any better. So since you're experienced in this field, what are the benefits that you think that anyone would get when they develop their skills in public speaking?
Some of the common benefits that people always get when they pursue the art of public speaking is, first, they develop self-confidence, the ability to stand up for themselves and speak. And secondly, they increase their fluency and their vocabulary in English language. And this is really helpful for people who might have little knowledge in English, or they want to improve their English to next level. And the third thing, which is also a really important part, is also the fact that it can help your career. Having the ability to communicate with others through the art of public speaking is what keeps you forward in your career path compared to other people. And I feel these are the common benefits you get. And there are more as well.
Yes, I completely agree with you. Even me being a public speaker, I have come across this benefits that you have mentioned, and so many of my friends too have said the very same. But do you think maybe through this experience that you have got, that maybe there are some secret benefits that people are yet to realize in the field of public speaking?
Yes, there are really some secrets that people really have to know. Some public speakers know about these secrets, while some, they might be using those secrets without their knowledge. And these secrets are nothing but the side effects of public speaking. Unlike medicine, which is really bad, but these side effects are really good in public speaking. Sometimes you might have to pursue them to make it as your own true strength. And one such secret is handling tough situations. Now, when I say handling tough situations, I didn't mean going and fighting with your boss. What I mean is handling yourself emotionally. And this is true for me. When I argue with my parents or argue with my siblings, the way my emotion comes forward is very strong, and sometimes it may end up hurting them or pushing them for my relationship. But through the art of public speaking, I was able to handle my emotions and make sure that I don't tear my family apart or my relation, but instead make them closer to me. It's not only this, but it also helps in self-discovery. I did not know I have other passions other than just programming when I pursue the art of public speaking. As I spoke to people, shared my experiences, I found a new passion that I love to share my experiences and make people laugh around me. And ever since then, I've been so compelled to discover the other parts of me. And there are other things as well, such as in your career, when you are in a big meeting, yet you have no important roles. You have the art of becoming visible in front of them. And this is all due to having a confident introduction of yourself, shaking your hands firmly with them, making eye contact, making yourself attractive by introducing yourself. And even though you're not going to be a great speaker in front of them or going to be a big person who has a very great profile, you can still be that important person in the meeting, all because you gave a firm introduction. And I feel this is sometimes like very true, and it's not seen in our path of public speaking. So these are some few secrets that I like to spill about.
Ah, I actually did not know about these secrets. And I'm coming to realize now that I also have been using them but have never actually accredited them for this. And thanks a lot for sharing that. So we can see today that improving our public speaking skills can really change our lives. And they can really help us discover the undiscovered or hidden talents within oneself. Thank you so much, Adeline, for sharing your insights about public speaking and the secret benefits that each one of us can really benefit if we pursue in this path. I really hope our audience also enjoyed this and has also come to know about why public speaking is a really important factor in our lives. So with that, I would like to thank everyone joining for today's show, and I would like to especially thank Adeline as well. I am Erlin Rihanna signing off from today, and I will see you all the next time with a new episode.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Adeline, for sharing the secret to public speaking with us. Now, as we transition to our next segment, I encourage you to contemplate your own inner mountains. And I will continue our theme before the evaluation segment. So let's dive into our table topics session. Our table topics is a multitasker. I'm sorry, I have to say this again because I mixed up the intro for Diana and Amina. And the one that we read previously is actually meant for Amina, but I will read it anyway. Our table topics is a multitasker, a devoted mother to two teenagers tirelessly pursuing her career goals in rare moments of tranquility. You'll find her curled up in a cozy corner, book in hand, relishing a cup of coffee, while she cherishes her introverted nature. She treasures the close bond she shares with a limited circle of friends. Having grown up in the scorching heat of the Middle East, she dreams of retiring in a lush, cool country someday. Inspired by amazing DTM achievers, she strives to reach the same heights of accomplishments. Let's welcome our table topics master, Toastmaster Amina Khanam.
Before I move, check if I'm audible. Yes.
I cannot hear you very well, sorry.
Cannot hear me?
Yeah, it's okay.
Headphones. Are you able to hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters and guests. On today's table topic session, where we embark on a thrilling journey of personal growth and conquering our inner mountains. As our meeting theme is Scaling the Summit, Conquering the Mountain Within, reflecting the challenges and triumphs we encounter on our individual paths to success. In our fast-paced and interconnected world, it's essential to find moments of respite and solitude. And today's table topic session aims to delve into the connection between scaling our internal summits and finding moments of tranquility and me time along the way. So I thought to have a little twist to the regular table topic session. And instead of giving you topics, I would like each one of you to speak on the picture that you see. The pictures that will be shown to you are focused on your me time, your moments of tranquility, your moments of respite from the daily stresses, which would then help you or better equip you to conquer the mountains within you. So with that, let me share the screen. May I be allowed to share the screen? Madeline or Trixie, if you could allow me to share the screen, please.
It's done, Toastmaster Amina.
Thank you so much. Sorry for that. So as I call upon the guests or the speakers, I would like you to pick a number and then we can see what picture you get from there. So let me begin with someone who has experience with table topics. How about our general evaluator, DTM Vicky? Would you like to give it a go?
Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll take number 8.
Number 8. So your topic, the picture that you see is the dominoes, but I'm thinking of something along the lines of games.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, table topic master, Toastmaster Amina. What do we all see in this photo? It will all really depend on our perspective in life. Because for me, yes, I see the domino game, but I also see the domino principle of if one falls, the rest falls. And I could relate it to the Toastmasters and the team, especially the XCOM, where if one of the officers or one of the XCOM members does not really want to perform as much as possible, then the others also get affected. It would be the same with the family. If one of the members in the family, the father or the mother, has not really been able to connect with his or her children or with his or her spouse, then everything falls apart. The domino principle is always in our hearts and in our minds because it lives, and we have to be able to be aware of how the domino principle can always affect our lives. I would like to call on our fellow Toastmasters, be the leader who would always make sure that the rest of the people around you, the rest of your team members, family members, are strong because of your influence. It is always something that we should take into consideration. And what is the best? Being sure that you as a member of the family, a member of Toastmaster, member of the community and the society will always lead, will always stay strong so that you could be a good influence to the rest of the people around you. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you so much, DTM Vicky. That was so insightful, and I absolutely resonate. I'm part of another club besides Athena, where I am the president, and I really find it so important for especially the ExCom members to be united in the way we proceed in Toastmasters, the way we contribute to Toastmasters, and not just Toastmasters, outside Toastmasters, whatever we learn from Toastmasters, implementing that in our daily lives. So thank you so much for that insight. Moving on, I'd like to now start inviting some guests. I believe Eliza. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. If you would like to take a... Are you there? Okay, how about Chanel? Chanel, would you like to give it a go? Okay,
Yes.
so what's your number?
2.
Okay. So your image is books. Tell us what you want.
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master. Wow, books. It just so happens that I enjoy books, collecting books, reading books, just being surrounded by them. For me, there's always a story. Sometimes it can be happy, sometimes not so happy. But either way, there's always something to learn. I enjoy the idea of finding out something new, something I didn't know before. And that's what books offer, the opportunity to go to places and find out something you never knew before in the comfort of your own house. Yes, I know traveling, going outside, being adventurous is always fun. Sometimes when the weather's not so good, a perfect book can take you to all those places that you never thought you'd go to. There are always lessons to be learned, some obstacles to overcome. There's something about a story, even if it's not your own, that you can learn from. How to overcome challenges, how to reach for your goals, how to inspire yourself or others. There's always something that you can learn from a book. Some books are fun. Other books, not so fun, but entertaining nonetheless. Back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you very much, Chanel, for that. Definitely books are a world of wisdom altogether. We get so much of learning from there, right from fiction to non-fiction. We have something to take away and learn from any book we pick up. There is a quote I read recently: if you don't like the book you have, you must, if you don't want the book you have, you must, it's something along the lines of wanting the book that you actually do. So sorry, I don't recall the quote exactly, and I will move on. Let me invite Diana.
Number 6, please.
Sure. So I think this represents strength, it represents fitness. So let's hear from you. What do you think of it?
This is what I need in my life right now, I guess. What really I'm in need for. The picture is really intimidating me because really part of us in our life, we say we are wanted something and then we cannot reach it because we have so much in our hand. We're carrying the banana, as what our speaker just mentioned. The picture is giving me the power, giving me that we, no matter what it is taking you to your goal, you need to have more focus, more determination, and the time frame for all our goals in life. Same as in Toastmaster. I've been joining Toastmaster for now almost a year and a half, and I'm learning every session and every goal about how to be more efficient in speaking, more efficient in my life with my kids and my husband. So this exercise or going to the gym or having the commitment for our daily basics that we do every day, it's the main purpose of the picture, I guess, is to be everyday commitment for the same thing. Back to you.
Thank you for that, Diana. Absolutely. Even for me, it's a personal struggle getting to the gym, pulling myself to stay active. But when I did, I really felt I'd climbed a mountain. The sense of achievement was just as big. So who would like to go next? Anyone would like to volunteer?
May I suggest Niral?
Niral?
Yes.
Hi, Niral. Would you like to
Hi.
give it a go and pick a number?
Yeah, I'll go with number 5.
So for me, this picture represents absolute Zen. I would like to hear what you think about it.
Okay. So what I saw in the picture was someone relaxing, I can say, and everyone in their part of lives needs to relax after having so much stress or going through a lot. You need a day or two just for yourself, and you can do it by doing your hobbies or doing whatever you like. For me, whenever I feel like I had a long day, I either sleep or go out with my friends. And other people might do it by reading books or going to the gym, maybe joining Toastmasters, and maybe cleaning. So life has its ups and downs, but if you know how to control them and you know when to relax and when to not to, everything is going to be okay. And back to you.
Thank you, Miral. Absolutely. For me as well, Toastmasters is de-stressing. Many people tell me, how do you do it? How do you balance work, home, and Toastmasters? Isn't it stressful for you? I always tell them, no, writing a speech really calms me down. And then going and performing in front of my club, and then getting the appreciation and the critical feedback is always helpful. So yeah, I absolutely agree. Who would like to go next? Do we have time for more though?
Yes, you can go for another 2 more.
2 more, okay. How about our Toastmaster of the day? DTM Grace, would you like to try?
You know, I have so much participation in this meeting, so I will give it other people a chance. So we have Queen here. I don't want to dominate the whole meeting, so we'll give it a chance to other people.
Yeah. Queen, would you like to try?
All right.
Sorry.
I'll pick number 10.
10. All right. So for me, this represents gardening, which I believe is de-stressing for a lot of people. How about you?
I can see the picture. I can see the picture as growth. Especially today as our theme for personal growth, this picture says a lot about us. Imagine being a Toastmaster as a sibling and having the vital example to make you grow, such as the mentor that will help you water your skills, help you grow into something, help you bloom into the flower that you are going to become. These things that will really contribute to us, that will really help us become Toastmasters that we are aiming. Over to you, table topic master, Amina.
Thank you, Toastmaster Queen. Absolutely, our mentors are nurturing us and helping us grow into amazing speakers someday. And I really, really loved your take on that. We have time for just one more. Can I invite
Toastmaster
Vinita?
Amina, Toastmaster Amina, you can have another another 2. You have time. It's you can have another 2 or 3.
All right. So how about Toastmaster Vinita? Would you like to give it a go?
Sure, Amina.
So take your pick.
4.
So we have cats, which may represent pets. You may not necessarily like cats, but I'd like to hear your take on this. Thank you.
Cats, to me, they represent carefree nature. Really don't care, really don't bother whether somebody likes you or not. You go ahead and you do, and you it's catwalk. Catwalk is a way models walk on the ramp, right? So in spite of, in a way, having absolutely no identity, they have a huge identity whereby the world does catwalk and present themselves to anyone who's watching. So cats to me represent bindas attitude and yes, the beautiful eyes. And there is one more thing I would like to say, because when I look into the eyes of a cat, it's very mesmerizing. I don't know whether it is the color, whether it is, it kind of takes you in. So I feel even that is a representation of being able to stand up and control your environment. Thank you, and over to you.
That was an interesting takeaway. I would now like to invite Toastmaster Mohammed Zubair. Are you there?
Toastmaster Amina, I'm in a public place, unable to speak.
Okay. So who else is left?
What about Toastmaster Trixie Lee? She hasn't said a word since the start of the meeting. So let's make her work.
Yes. Trixie, please.
What else is not taken? Number 7, is it taken?
I believe not.
Oh, summer.
So this
All right.
represents summer, this represents a holiday. I'd like to hear it from you.
Table topic master, dear guests, good evening. That's actually one of my favorite spots. You know, that saying dolce far niente, the sweetness of doing nothing. In the fast-paced world that we have right now, something is lacking. We tend to forget that we also need to relax and, try to disconnect to the world and focus on ourselves. And that way, one way of focusing on ourselves, regaining our energy, is to go on vacation somewhere far and just cherish doing nothing. This year, I have promised myself that I will focus more on my mental health. In the past years, I have been always saying yes to everything. But this year, I have promised myself that I will learn, although it's really hard sometimes, to say no. So that's the thing. I believe that this is something that we should all practice. Focusing on ourselves, trying doing dolce far niente, or trying to say that there's sweetness in doing nothing and focusing in our mental health. Over to you, table topic master.
Rightly said, Toastmaster Trixie. Absolutely. I'm going to make that my slogan, dolce far niente. Nice one. Thank you. Can I invite, is that DTM Zenith with us? DTM Zenith, would you like to participate? I don't hear from her, so I guess she's not online. How about one of our role players then? Shahila, would you like to give it a go?
Well, okay. Can someone time? Yeah. Someone can time me, or else I'll time myself.
Do you want to pick a number? I think we have number 9, if I'm not mistaken.
What's the number that's not taken?
Number 9.
Oh, nice. Number 9, okay.
So this represents to me art, painting, in general, creativity. Let's hear from you.
Life can be full of colors, and if you color it with bright colors, it will look more brighter. Good evening, table topic master and guest. Now, I am not good in painting, but recently I went through a very hard time. What I started to do to get out of it is that I followed many, art, like painting accounts, like painting accounts, motivational accounts. So this one artist, she was disabled, and she was just using, holding the paintbrush from her mouth, and she was doing all the art. That time it really hit me, like life will not end just because something happens. Life doesn't end. You can try. And that person inspired me a lot, because she was disabled and she didn't stop. She used another method to showcase her talent, and she proved that life is not going to stop from there. And that inspired me a lot to come from my hard time out. And let's all color our life with bright colors, and let's all color others' life also with bright colors, so that they will feel happy and positive, and they will have the courage to stay strong and become that fearless warrior. Over to you, table topic master.
Wow, thank you so much, Toastmaster Shahila. So well said. And what you said really connected, I think, with our theme today, and was a great end to the table topic session. I hope you guys, all of you, enjoyed that. And now over to our Toastmaster of the day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amina. That was an engaging table topic session. Toastmasters and guests, I hope you enjoyed the spontaneous speeches and the quick thinking showcased by our talented speakers. Now, to continue with our theme, I want you to think back to a time when you faced a seemingly insurmountable mountain. Reflect on the challenges you encountered, the doubts that crept in, the moments when you wanted to give up. Yet here you are today, standing tall and strong, a testament to the strength that lies within you. So acknowledge and celebrate that strength. Now, let's take a moment to reflect on our personal mountains and think of one practical step we can take today to start conquering them. It could be reaching out to a mentor, setting specific goals, or seeking resources and support. So write it down or share it with a partner, and let's commit to taking action towards our mountains. Just like mountaineers equip themselves with the right tools and mindset, we too have the power to conquer our own metaphorical mountains. So believe in yourself, seek support, embrace challenges, and cherish the journey. Embrace the opportunities for growth and learn from the setbacks. Because the mountain within you is not merely a physical destination, but a metaphor for the heights you can reach in life. As we ascend our personal mountains, it is important to remember that the journey is not always smooth. There will be hurdles, setbacks, and even moments of despair. But it is during these moments that we discover our true strength. Embrace the challenges as opportunities for growth, for it is through adversity that we develop resilience, determination, and the tenacity to overcome any obstacles. But before I wrap up my theme message, we will have our last segment, which is the evaluation segment. Now, our general evaluator, we had the opportunity to provide valuable feedback and support our speakers' development through evaluation. And it is my great pleasure to introduce a true legend in our Toastmasters community, our club past president, who is currently here with us in Doha, Qatar. This remarkable individual has been a beacon of leadership and inspiration, touching the lives of countless individuals through her mentorship and impactful keynote speeches. So let's welcome this extraordinary Toastmaster whose leadership, mentorship, and inspiring keynote speeches have touched lives and shaped our community. Ladies and gentlemen, our general evaluator, who is a respected leader, mentor, and inspirational speaker, Maria Victoria Perez.
Thank you so much, DTM Grace. And you know, when she mentioned that she is with us tonight. I'm living in her place, and she has given me a 7-star treatment. It's my last night tonight. And I can say that Grace is one of the best hosts that I have ever dealt with. So thank you for letting me stay in your place. And with that, as a general evaluator, we are asked to talk about anything and everything that happened or that should not happen in a meeting. I am like a detective with my, how do you say, eyeglass and the eyes all over to make sure that everything is running in order. I have 3 parts in the session. The first one is I will be calling on the evaluator to evaluate our one and only speaker. And the next one is I will be calling on the tag team, the timer, the counter, and the grammarian. And finally, I will be giving my comments on the meeting. So let me start with calling on our evaluator. This evaluator has been a member of Toastmasters since 2003. She has supported me in establishing the first all-women's club here in Qatar in 2003, and it was called Al Noor Toastmasters Club. Sadly, it passed away. It was first in the intensive unit, and then the club passed away, and here we are with Athena. It was the reincarnation of Athena International Toastmasters Club, having different nationalities. May I call on one of the vintage Toastmasters, none other than my good friend, Toastmaster Venita Nangalia, to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Adeline. Over to you, Toastmaster Venita. Let's give her a big round of applause.
Thank you, DTM Vicky, for that lovely introduction. Love to be called your friend, always. Good evening, everyone, once again. And dear Adeline, what mastery. It was wonderful to watch you speak. So now when I evaluate you, I'm not going to talk about your body language or your eye contact because it is specifically about how you have fared as a podcaster. Okay. So did you present a well-organized podcast? Absolutely. And the introduction that you started with prepared us to listen to what you were about to say. So that was very important because an introduction to anyone about what is coming is very important. So thank you for that. That was very well done. Have you learned how to create a podcast? Yes, you have. It was a very nicely done podcast. What do we need? What more do we need here? One thing was when your podcast started, you were standing there. See, podcast never has a moving image. It has a static image. So you could have maybe named your podcast series and put that name there. That would have been creative. Or you could have just put this Toastmaster International logo behind you. You could have used a static picture instead of standing there because it was a little distracting, and also for you, you did not know what to do standing there, right? As a public speaker, we don't want to do that. And one more thing, Adeline, when we talk about anything, we need to take both sides of the coin into perspective. So you did speak about the strengths of being a Toastmaster. You did speak about the secrets, but it was a one-sided podcast. Public speakers do get trolled. They lose confidence. There are times when they don't use the right words. They might not mean it, but they did it. And for that, they have to live with a lot of trolling. How to cope with that? How to bring back confidence? how to choose the right words. That also is whenever you do a podcast, it has to take both sides of the coin into perspective. So that is one thing. So, and also a very small thing is that you said that it improves English. Half the world does not talk English, Adeline. So it improves your ability to stand and talk in whatever language you're talking. That would be a fair statement to me. But then it was a very well done podcast. And I wish that you session along your journey as a Toastmaster and you grow from level to level to level and become a DTM. Over to you, Toastmaster Vicky. DTM Vicky.
Thank you so much, Evaluator Toastmaster Vinita Nangalia. Let us all sashay. If this was a face-to-face meeting, I think all of us, including our Toastmaster of the day, will sashay gracefully, walking around the stage, left to right, and finally, probably even dancing. We don't know, but let us sashay in the next meeting if it's going to be face-to-face. So thank you for that wonderful podcast evaluation. By the way, Toastmaster Vinita, what a coincidence. She is also a podcaster herself. That's why she knows what she's talking about. Bravo. Let's move to our tag team. I will not call on the timer first. Let me call on our grammarian who has introduced the word sachet. And I think she hasn't used the word sachet. Let's check on Toastmaster Queen Villanueva to talk about her grammarian's role and report. Over to you, Toastmaster Queen.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vicky. As your grammarian today, it is my responsibility to report the usage of the word sachet. And today I have recorded 6 usage, and I would like to applaud DTM Vicky for using the 3 uses. And for what I noticed in our meeting, I would like also to put highlights on using past tense words. We should always remember that if we're going to use past tense, we should add ed or use the past tense word of it, such as end to ended or says to said. Okay. And for the outstanding quotes that we heard, it's the dolce far niente, which means sweetness of doing nothing. That's all my report. Over to you, DTM Vicky.
Thank you so much to our grammarian, Toastmaster Queen Villanueva. Let's move on to our counter. None other than Diana Abumuhur, who is speaking all the way from Texas. Am I right, Diana?
Yes.
Yes. So let's give the Texas report on the counter. Let's give her a big round of applause.
Thank you so much. Today was really good meeting. For me, I could see and understood more of the counter purpose. I figured most of our speakers were speaking in fluently. We had some, how we say it, whenever you get excited, you start using the and so. But overall, the meeting was spectacular. I got some words also that I really admired during the meeting, that now sometimes when we have an abstract, we could use a storm. That's mean it give us a hope that this abstract is going to be ended soon, because all the time the storm is come and goes. The other thing I could add to as an counter is I learned a lot today with the words of the day, the sachet word. We can sometimes sachet in a public, even though we are having fear inside, even though we sometimes don't have the
perfect confidence for whatever we are doing. But when we walk with confidence, when we walk with a sachet way, sometimes we conquer ourselves in a better way. Back to you, DTM Vicky. Thank you.
Wow, Toastmaster Diana, I haven't heard from you for a long time, but you have come a long way. So here's another applause for you. Thank you so much. I will be calling on the timer after I give my full report. And let me have the opportunity to also evaluate the table topics. Toastmaster Amina, what a creative way of presenting table topics. You didn't use any question, but rather you showed us photos, and it made our minds start thinking and maybe thinking outside the box, being creative. In fact, as a first speaker, I was taken aback. Oh my God, these are dominoes. What do I say? And I really had to dig into my brain to be able to talk about something like the domino effect. So Toastmaster Amina, very creative, outside the box, and really you have conducted it very well. For the speakers, I think all the speakers did fantastically well because they addressed the question. They started describing the picture and including our guests. Salute to all of you because you knew how to address a table topic photo. And talking about dolce far niente, I think the speaker, Trixie Lee, she wanted to enjoy her dolce far niente by not doing anything because she finds it sweet. Well, you were called to the stage, Toastmaster Trixie, and you gave us a wonderful, wonderful response. And now we learned this new word. I want to do that, right, Toastmaster Grace? Dolce far niente, the sweetness of doing nothing. When will that ever be? I don't know, because I'm kind of hyperactive also. I like to do things. So all the speakers, including our timer, I should say special mention to our timer. While she was the timer, she was willing to reply to the picture, and she did very well. I should say all of you, there's no exception, you had all done a good job. And it just goes to show how our members in Athena International Toastmasters Club are excellent. Let's give them all a big round of applause, from table topic master to the table topic speakers. Now it's my turn to talk about the meeting. The meeting went well. We started a few minutes late, but that's fine because we were waiting for some other role players. Our dear DTM, Amy, started the meeting with a bang. She set the mood, and then she introduced our grand lady, the presiding officer, who asked the guests to introduce themselves, and everybody was acknowledged. And then, of course, I think she was not introduced because she introduced herself as the Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Grace, every time you are the Toastmaster of the day, you always come up with themes that are outstanding, something that we have to think about, something like, oh yeah, I've been climbing not only hills, I've been climbing mountains, and how do we get over? How do we survive? How can we be able to show and inspire other people about this? So as usual, well done. I had two of my guests message me privately and said that DTM Grace is doing a great job. So that was for you. And of course, the guest speaker, I was kind of surprised about bananas, but yalla, it's okay. Bananas, fruits, peaches, everything, but he did it in a very, how do you say, very attractive way, because who speaks about bananas? So it was something that was different from him, and it made me more, inspired to listen to his story. Very, very profound. Toastmaster Grace or DTM Grace, thank you for inviting Giovanni, and it was worth listening to. All the other role players, the speaker, Adeline, did a good job, except for the shock of the world. When all of a sudden I said, where am I? For God's sake, I think we lost some members or some guests because they all got afraid. Maybe for the next time around, the host and co-host should be very diligent. When you see that this is not something that one of the members shared, please try to trace the one who has posted it and remove the participant. And also maybe we should be able to identify who are the guests that we have invited, because it can be really very dangerous. We had some young guests who were 60 years old, and maybe if the father saw that, she will never ever come to our meetings, because you know it can be misinterpreted. So let's be more diligent. We had the shock of our lives, but Toastmaster of the day was able to overcome it, and you know, we didn't make a scene about it, and we moved on with the meeting, and life goes on. With that, the meeting went very well, I should say. As a general evaluator, I'm proud of being a member of Athena International Toastmasters Club. We have come a long way, and I hope that we will be able to invite more members. Among our guests, I hope that you can all be members of our club. We have different nationalities, and being an online club, we have members from different parts of the world. I would now like to call on our timer. She must be hanging over there and saying, when is my turn? Toastmaster Shahila, please give your report. You are not having the sweetness of not doing anything, because now I will ask you to give your timer's report. Over to you, Toastmaster Shahila Khan.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Everyone has their own time clock in their life. Trust the timings of your life. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Once again, I'm with my timer's report. We started few minutes late, but here's the good news. We are on time. And there was only one prepared speech. It was by Toastmaster Adeline. She took 9 minutes, 40 seconds. And there was only one evaluator, Toastmaster Benita. She took 3 minutes, 20 seconds. And our table topic speakers, there was one disqualification, time disqualification. Other than that, all the table topic speakers were qualified. And that's my timer's report. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shahila Khan. But you know what? I wish that I could see your photo. All I see is the Toastmasters International logo and the microphone. And I don't think you're somewhere near to the face of, let me see, there, you see, beautiful face. Thank you for showing yourself. Now I can associate the beautiful face of Toastmaster Shahila Khan with Shahila Khan. With that, thank you. With that, I would like to turn the proceedings and the virtual stage and sashay back to my seat, to our Toastmaster of the day, none other than DTM Grace Moran Billington, who lives in a, by the way, ladies, this is not a virtual background that she has. It's an actual background of her home, sweet home. Over to you, DTM Grace Moran.
Thank you so much, DTM Vicky. Now, to continue with the theme, I just wanted to do something before we close this meeting. I want you to close your eyes, and I'm watching you here. I can see it all. Close your eyes for a moment and tell you when to open it. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself standing at the base of a magnificent mountain. Feel the coolness of the air. Smell the scent of nature, green, and hear the gentle rustling of leaves. Picture the mountain in a vivid detail, with its towering peaks and rugged terrain. Take a moment to immerse yourself in this mental image. Now, I want you to think of your own mountain. I would like to invite a few volunteers to share a personal mountain that you have faced or are currently facing in your lives, because we know that we all have mountains. It can be a challenge, a setback, or a goal that you're striving towards. And by sharing your stories, we can find common ground, support, and inspiration in one another. Now, I want you to open your eyes and speak about your mountain. And I need volunteers, and I want you to raise your hand if you're that brave to share your mountain. Go on, don't be shy. Chanel?
Okay, thank you, Madam Toastmaster. So the mountain that I am facing is public speaking. I don't like to do it. It's not something I'm comfortable with, but every opportunity I get to speak in Toastmasters is a step closer to overcoming that mountain. So it's not easy, and it's strange because I enjoy hiking, but this specific mountain is not something I enjoy doing. But someday I know I'll overcome it. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. Toastmaster Amina?
My mountain as well is
We can't hear you, Toastmaster Amina.
Sorry. So for me, my mountain as well is sort of public speaking. I am a shy person, an introvert, so I find it very hard to network, especially in huge events like the DTAC conference that we attended. And I see that through Toastmasters, I'm overcoming that step by step. I'm still not where I want to be, but I definitely am hiking up. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. DTM Vicky.
I thought you, all right.
I'm
Fellow
gonna call everyone.
Toastmasters and guests, I have too many mountains to climb, and sometimes I just choose each day what mountain I will climb today. All of us have mountains, but I think God has provided for me many mountains, including hills, that makes me survive and makes me a stronger person than I was before. The biggest mountain that I dealt with was, of course, the passing away of my son 2 years ago. And it's still a mountain that I am climbing because it's as if I still need the closure in his death and the other things that had happened after his death. Fellow Toastmasters, don't give up. If you have mountains to climb, keep climbing, because you'll never know when you reach the top, or maybe on your way going down, you will find closure and you will be able to say, hey, I'm ready for the next mountain, or I'm ready for the next hill. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much. Toastmaster Trixie Lee. Share your mountains with us.
Yes, I have also my own share of mountain, and recently we lost our house because of fire. And it's really hard being far from home, knowing that they're facing it without me. But Toastmasters has helped me a lot in changing my perspective. And instead of being negative about it and feeling bad about it, I was given so much help and so much support, not just financially, but also emotionally. And a lot of Toastmasters has taught me to have a different approach when it comes to mountains of our lives. And this one, I am still facing it, but I know I am not facing it alone, because I have, especially in Athena Toastmasters Club, I have you guys checking on me from time to time. And, I really appreciate all this. And yes, DTM Vicky is correct. Do not give up. Continue working on yourselves, and there is nothing that we cannot do. I believe in that. When God empties our hands, it means that he's replacing it with something better. So hold on to that. Over to you, DTM Grace.
Thank you so much. Toastmaster Sheila.
You're muted, Toastmaster Grace.
Toastmaster Shahila, sorry.
Um, my mountain is too complicated, and because I am not going to hesitate to say, because I went through a very bad breakup, I can say, which totally put me down to the very lowest level, and I thought I won't have a way to come out, because it was sort of a betrayal breakup, and I was so scared that I won't be able to come in front of people and talk and, you know, smile. But I have to thank Toastmaster Fauzi, Toastmaster Trixie, who helped me a lot. Every word matters, and you know, today I am getting the hope that that's not the end of the life, since you fail from one certain level, because you get more opportunities. Just because one door closed, it's not the whole life is going into a dark side. There are many doors that will open, and I hope someday I will see that person who would, you know, give me back that smile, and, you know, let's all be positive and, you know, never give up. Never give up, at no matter what life brings you. Never give up, and have that fearless courage. It's hard only, but, you know, take a deep breath, drink a glass of cold water, and keep smiling. Over to you, DTM Grace.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shahila. Have I called you yet, Toastmaster Vanita?
Hi. I don't know if I would be sounding preposterous, but I don't consider anything a mountain. So there is one thing I've learned from my mother-in-law. If there is a day when something has not gone right, she will just put her hand on my shoulder and she'll say, don't worry, this will pass. So whatever comes through in your life, I think it passes with time, with effort, with a vision. I think you just need to look at it like you want it to pass. The problem comes with a solution. Look for the solution, move ahead in life, smile along the way, because I also do believe that shouting and howling and making noise does not solve the problem. Sitting down and looking at it objectively does. So whatever the mountains, go hike, enjoy the beauty of the mountain, because you painted a very beautiful picture for us of the mountain in front of us. So yes, such is life. Live.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Vanita. Toastmaster Queen.
Thank you, Toastmaster Grace. The mountain that I'm picturing is really too high for me, that I realize it's the mountain of how I believe in myself. The higher that I picture it, the more I get intimidated. It really reached to the point that I got intimidated on, will I ever reach the top? Then I remembered that we should at least have this time to look back. And I saw that I've already come too far. And the setbacks that we pass, the setbacks should be like the opportunity to learn and grow. And we should focus on our goals. Keep moving forward. You can have a pause and look back, but keep moving forward, flying to the top. That's all. Over to you, Toastmaster Grace.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Queen. Toastmaster Adeline, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
You'd like to share with us your mountain?
Like you might have heard from my introduction about that, I really like plains, to walk on grass plains over mountains. And one of the reason is because when I see a mountain, I can't see the other side of the plains. When I can't see the other side of plains, I can't see my goals, I can't see my future, and it's really scary. When you are stuck at one point of life where you don't know, like when things are really hard, you cannot see your future. You always think there's a dark cloud around you. You think that maybe you're not ready for it, or maybe you're not meant. It's always good to turn back to those green plains that we have always been walking on. And like that, I used to picture my life as full of plains, no mountains whatsoever. You can see the sun, the sky, you can even see your destination from there. But when you start climbing the mountains and you reach the top, because when you climb the mountains, the hardest part is climbing them when you reach the top. But once you see, like when the clouds are off and everything, you see how beautiful it is that from that mountain top, you can see your whole journey. You can see how far you have come upon. You can see how much you have, come through life difficulties. And those difficulties doesn't have to be physically, it can be emotionally as well. And this is sometimes we miss things about. And when I was at the top of the mountain, I felt coming down the mountain was so easy. And I felt that once I pass the mountain, I can do much more. And then I started looking for mountains, not because I wanted trouble, but the fact that I can enjoy the scenery while I pass through my journey. So I felt that's how mountains are in my life. Back to you, DTM Grace.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Adeline. I just want to say thank you so much all for sharing your mountains with the group. And the reason for this activity is that to let you know that you are not alone in your struggle, and that together we can achieve greatness, especially here in Athena Toastmasters Club. So we can share our struggles, we can share our mountains, and also together, we can find solutions into it. The mountains we face may differ. The essence of perseverance in the human spirit unites us all. Don't you agree? As we conclude tonight's meeting, I invite you to carry the spirit of scaling the summit within yourself beyond this virtual room. Remember that every challenge presents an opportunity for growth. Embrace the mountains within, for they hold the key to discovering your true potential. And remember, the view from the mountaintop is breathtaking, but the real beauty lies in the journey itself. So cherish every step, every struggle, and every triumph along the way. As I did, I embrace the lessons I've learned, the experience I've gained, and the person I have become in the process. So the mountain within you is waiting. So that's it for me as a Toastmaster of the day. So now for business session, we have to we have to elect our ExCom officers. So we need volunteers. We need volunteers for our upcoming, for the new term, which will start in July 1. So I think some of you had already volunteered. So far we have 4 volunteers.
Can I leave now? Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah.
Thank
you can.
you.
Yeah. Yes, you can. Yeah.
Thank you, DTM.
Thank you so much, Vanita. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Grace.
Yeah.
And congratulations on your 50th meeting.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Oh yeah, majority of our here. Just a quick reminder, because we still have some guests in here. So can we just hear some feedback from our guests about tonight's meeting? Where are our guests? No, we're gonna start with Chanel.
Okay, thank you. Yes. So this was an interesting meeting. I looked up more about the club and I realized it's a women's only club. So that was cool. I never knew that. So it was interesting being here. Thank you, DT and Vicky, for the invitation. I didn't think I'd be able to make it, because usually by now our power outage lasts for 4 hours. So I'm surprised that I'm still here, but I'm glad I could be here and see what the club is about and meet everyone. Yes, so it was cool. Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate you coming, and then hope that you will still like join our future meetings. So join us if it's not too inconvenient. I don't know where you are right now. So yeah, would be great to see you again. Yeah, I think most of us here are already members of Athena International Toastmasters Club. So we have 2 minutes here. So we can basically just close the meeting now. So thank you once again, and have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone. Bye.
Good night. Stop the video.
Good night, all.